He whispered to me, "Hi, Tabby." Who's that? Hi, Dylan. Hi, Brandy Brown. Hi, Sharon. I can't handle it. I saw this true crime thing, right, on Diane Downs, and it said ASMR, Diane Downs, and I'm like, how is, I thought it's about noise, and the woman came on, and it was just, "Hi, I'm going to tell you about the case of Diane Downs, and so this is a really good case here." Is that for real? And she's got like tons of views just whispering. I don't even know if that's what it is, Brandy. I don't know. It came up in my thing and I saw it and I said, because everybody always says to me, you should make ASMR videos. And I thought it was sounds, like when I pour the seltzer and stuff. It's whispering. That's what. And every video is just, she's like something about cookie dough and she's just telling them about how she made cookie dough, but she's whispering. "Hey, I made some cookie dough today and it was really good. You should see the cookie dough that I made." And are people just listening to that? Boy, I must be doing the wrong thing. We're going to whisper about Chris Watts today. Yeah. What do you guys think about Chris Watts? It's crazy. I think that would drive me insane. And I don't know how people wouldn't be like, "Could you speak up? I can't hear you." That is so weird. I didn't know. I really thought ASMR was all about sounds, like sizzling bacon or people like it. I don't get it. You sent me an email on ASMR. I was just like, you've got to be kidding me. And then she reads a book or something, it's like, "We're going to read The Panda Wigs at last." It's so crazy. I wonder why people why do people like that? Especially if it's true. I mean, I don't get it. I can understand sounds and stuff, but do people really like people whispering? Maybe if they, I don't know. I've never heard both of those things done together. Okay, so whisper to me, Tabby, Delia, Brandy, Sharon, the Bryan clan, Paula, Tico, Lisa, Jayos, CYNT, Carrie Lynn, Brenda, Happy Bee Cakes, hi. I didn't finish my ice cream cake today. I'll tell you that story. I'll tell you that story in a minute about the ice cream cake. Mary Kim, Patty and Jack, Lisa, Amanda, manager of Three Monsters, Bernard, hi, Love Conquers All, Carla, Linda, JW, Aletha, Miss Quelly, I got Brandy, I already got you right, Ann Fox, hi, Anna, GB, you're really late, Sea Glass and Shells, Larry, is that Larry? Amanda, Dylan, hi, Teresa, Ivy Lynn, Carrie Lynn, Thistle, and we got Susan, Sunny Bunny, Vegas Donna, SN, Alley Cattails, and Kaza, and Janet, and G-Man, and Your Best Friend, and Linda, we got you, Leah, I think, we got you, Nora, Ethereal Goddess, hi, Sophia, Scarlet Rain, Alice, Rebecca, Joe, Kathy, Audra, Carol, Clark, Lisa, Norton, hi, Ocean Girl, Kai, hi, Rochelle, I think Kathy from Texas, hello, Rhonda, Auntie, am I the only one who didn't know? Well, maybe now that I did, I have the wrong idea of it. I thought it was sounds, like just a lot of sounds, but I guess whispering is a sound. I didn't know like an entire video on true crime would be done like that, or that someone would talk about cookie dough like that. I don't know. I finished The Handmaid's Tale, the first one too. Yeah, I want to talk about that. Joseph, hi. BX, hi. Let's see. So if I missed you, I see you too. Okay, so yeah, that's just weird. But man, if you could, Raven, Hi Mildly Sunny. Handmaid's Tale, I didn't realize they dropped 3 episodes. I only watched the first one. Does anybody watch Handmaid's Tale besides Ivy? Oh no, Sophia. I hope everything's okay. You had the weirdest dream about me? What was it? I only got a quarter of the first episode watched before you fell asleep. Yeah, my daughter didn't like the first. She said she was iffy on the first episode. I saw the first episode. You have to find the right ASMR to make you sleepy. Is that what it's for? It's to make you sleepy? For me, it sounds that remind me of my child. Oh, is that what the purpose of it is? I really don't know much about it. Oh, nothing bad? Good. Oh, not yet? No spoilers? Okay, we won't talk about it. Hi, Charlene. Charlene's been busy, and she's in a P&E war with me. She said, I don't have a chance. It's raining like crazy. Is it raining by you, Charlene? I think we're going to have a rainy, I hope not, but I think we're going to have a rain. It's raining like crazy. Diabetes related. Oh. Yeah, I did. Thank you. But we were going to go out to dinner tonight, and I knew it. Okay, I knew it. I told Jimmy, when Ethan gets home, I guarantee you he is going to be exhausted. He got home at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. He fell asleep like right to 8 o'clock, got up, ate something, and went right back to sleep. So I said, there's no way we are going out to dinner like this. Not at all. So we're going to go out tomorrow or Friday. I think we're going out tomorrow. And the ice cream cake, I have it all. It's all done. I did use the chocolate, and I went with the chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream. And I'm going to do the cream tomorrow because he wasn't even up to doing that. He was just exhausted. So, yeah, he had fun, but he was exhausted. I gave him the sunscreen stick and everything. Well, of course, he comes home sunburn. It's crazy. He's like, it wore off. I'm like, yeah, it wore off. I'm sure it did. Every time he spends the night out. Well, they had 2 nights. And even one of his good friends, when he was getting off the bus, said, go get some sleep, Ethan. And so did his teacher. So he must have just not slept. You're whispering. It poured there? Yeah. I don't know. I'm not even sure what ASMR is. I thought it was sounds, like sizzling bacon or something like that. But now someone's saying it sounds that make you comfortable to go asleep, kind of like a human. Are you like a human white noise machine kind of thing? And something came up in my feed, and it said ASMR Diane Downs. Okay? And so I flipped it on, and the woman's like, we're going to talk about the Diane Downs case. This is a really good true crime case from many years ago. And I'm just like, she's going to do this throughout the whole thing? And yeah. And then she had other videos on like makeup and cookies, and everything was whispering. And then there was like reading a kid's book, like, we're going to read this kid's book right now. I'm going to read this chapter. It was crazy. It's supposed to give you the shivers. Is it, JW? See, I don't know. Everybody tells me a different thing about it. Hi, Sharon. So I don't know. Hi, Backdoor. Hi, Red Rum Blonde. Babe. Hi, Jan. Hi, Sakura Girl. Hi, Debbie. So I don't know. Hi, Birdie. I don't know about it. That would drive you crazy. It drives me. I don't enjoy it. I mean, I think I would enjoy sounds better than somebody whisper, because I'd be like, what is she saying? Like, I didn't hear that. Then you could never walk away. You'd have to have headphones on. The whisper talk makes it worse. Yeah. It just makes me, I don't know. It just sounds like somebody's asleep, you know, like, "Oh, I'm just talking because Jimmy's asleep over there and he doesn't want me to get him up." Really? Did they? Teacup? That's weird. They had a thing going on. Did Diane Downs and the I-5 killer? Watch the... Okay, Alley Cattails. I don't like listening to whisper talk. No. I don't... It's so weird. Especially not if you're like, I don't know, if I want to hear a true crime case, I don't want it whispered to me. I mean, I like, what's his name? Keith Morrison, but he doesn't whisper. I was thinking that it changes or something, but it doesn't. She whispers throughout the whole thing. Hey, no time. It was so crazy. And I thought like she was going to switch it up. And some like she whispers, but she smacks her lips and stuff or makes mouth noises on purpose, I guess, for... Do they chew in some of them? Yeah. Very strange. Very, very strange. I don't know. I have to learn more about it, but... Now the daughter she had... Yeah, I did see that Linda, that the update on Diane Downs there. So tomorrow is going to be the start of the sentencing phase in the Timothy Jones Jr. Okay, ASMR is the subjective experience of low-grade euphoria characterized by a combination of positive feelings and a distinct static-like tingling sensation on the skin triggered by specific stimuli. But I didn't, Sakura, I didn't get anything when she was whispering. In fact, I was getting a little annoyed. You know, you wrote Diane Downs. She told me she was innocent. Oh, she wrote back to you? Wow. So, yeah, I wonder, it's supposed to start at 8:45. Okay, I don't think I've ever seen it start on time. You'll see the clock. It's like a fetish, really? Okay. You got to know. Yeah, I was very annoyed by that. I'd rather hear like, I'd rather hear like something like that than somebody just whispering through the whole entire thing. It just, I mean, I think as a mother, like normally, because the only time somebody does that, it's like, yeah, just put the baby down, be really quiet, okay? It's like not a good thing that you have to go like around whispering. Though I never did that. My sister always did that stuff. Like, okay, I just said I was going to speak in the normal tone, normal sounds, and my kids fell asleep with that stuff. And I never did that. Shh. Okay. So my kids they're deep sleepers. You hope the Jones sentencing is fast and severe. So we'll see. You laughed out loud the first time you heard ASMR, seriously thinking it was a huge joke. I'm surprised. Has Saturday Night Live made parodies of that? It's crazy. Squint your ears. But what? That's what they do that too, Sakura? Really? Okay, I must be totally out of the loop on that. Rather hear late night sounds in Mommy Rambling's kitchen. I was thinking like more like sounds, that people like certain sounds. Yeah, I never did either, Linda. You like the sounds of one hand. But, so first day home from the hospital, should keep making the same... Yeah, that's exactly what I thought, Hennessy, yeah, because they heard the same sounds in the utero, and especially when you have more than one kid, and if you have two older kids or more, and they're talking around, running around talking. Your middle daughter would tell you night-night, and she meant it. I laugh now. My 2-year-old grandson does the same thing. So the defense attorneys just lost money and their jobs. Diane Long, what do you mean? You love Keith Moore? Yeah, I love him. Teresa. You love fan sounds? Jimmy does too. Jimmy's always got fans going. Deborah, thanks, GB. I'll check it out. Oh, you've met him, Sharon? Hi, hiding. But, thanks. Thank you, Lori. You can't sleep without your fan on? You can't sleep without your fan on either? How's your boy Jimmy? Your boy Jimmy's good. You need the fan to sleep. See, I never did. And then Jimmy got the kids. Like, he would run a fan, like, outside the kids' doors, like, in the hallway. And then he was, like, nuts with the fans. It drives me nuts sometimes. I like silence. Like, I don't know. If I'm home or if I'm doing something, like, sometimes I don't mind if the TV's on but sometimes I just appreciate silence. Really, but I don't think Jimmy can never really appreciate silence. He likes fans running and you can't sleep in silence? No, I don't even mean sleeping. Sometimes I just appreciate silence. Like if I'm writing a blog or something, you hate the sound of the silence. You have 2 fans in the bedroom. Oh, well, yeah, it is in Sweden. Really? Hafla? Is anyone watching? No, the Brenda Delgado trial? What's that about, Michelle? Yeah, I see you. I mean, not all the time, but just sometimes, sometimes if it's really, really loud, like if Jimmy's watching like a sports game and he has it up loud, because he's famous for, he puts something on, right? And then he goes outside or in another room. So then I've got a game on that I'm not even watching. Or how many times, if you have kids, is the TV on some like cartoon or something that you don't watch and your kids have been gone for like an hour, maybe they went, and it's still on and you're like, why the heck is this still on? You absolutely love silence? Yeah, so at those points, like when something's been on, then, or like if Jimmy puts the exhaust fan on like high, and then I'm just like click it all off, and I just want silence, and it just, I don't know, just that silence just sounds so good. Because if it's something I don't like on TV, I'd rather have it off. I love you so much. I just totally rather have it off. Silence is golden. Your pet peeve is a loud TV, yeah. Especially, Dylan, if it's not something you want to hear, then it really grates on my nerves. Brenda hired a hitman to kill. Oh, wait a minute, Texas. Yeah, we did talk about that, right? She was the ex-girlfriend, and she hired a hitman to kill the new girlfriend, and that's the one I said last night. I'm surprised we don't see more cases like that. An idling car. Once... It's funny. I think this happened. When you open your car door and your keys are in and it makes that ding, ding, right? I didn't know. And I was somewhere and someone was like, take your keys out of the car. And I'm just like, oh my, no, take your keys out of the ignition. It was like driving this person insane. I'm like, okay, calm down. sorry, get a noise you like, and then put your, it helps, Sassy. But, a murder for hire in Dallas. She hired Christopher Love to kill her ex-boyfriend's new girlfriend, right? He was a dermatology resident, and the girlfriend who was killed was a pediatric dentist. Is that what it was? Chris, it's a death penalty case? Chris Love. I will look at that. That sounds interesting. How far in the trial are they? Hi, Lisa. Hi, Wildlife. I don't like ceiling fans to blow in my face as I sleep. Another Chris. No, but is Chris Love the girlfriend that hired the hitman? Hey, Bridget, say, how are you? Angel, Callie, I know I asked you last night, how did your mom meet this guy? Did she write to him in prison or something? You have a fear of girls' shoes. Any advice for getting rid of my fear? Okay. The Hatcher case, she was from where I live. Her cousin is a good friend. What's the Hatcher case, Deborah? You would love Matt Fraser to read the Watts case. He's the best medium around. Christopher Love is male, right? He's the boyfriend, right? Crystal Cortez drove the getaway car, and she got 35 years. I am still waiting for the verdict in the McStay family case. Yeah, I know. I was looking for that today. Hey, Save Robbie. How are the ants? It's my niece's boyfriend. She died last year. They have no money. Oh, wait. It's my niece's boyfriend? It's my niece's boyfriend. Oh, she died last year, your niece. They had no money, no job. Are you saying this is your niece's boyfriend? So it would be your mother's granddaughter's boyfriend? Is that correct, Angel Callie? And so her granddaughter died and she's with the boyfriend now? Yeah, I'm sad to say, if your mother's of sound mind and that's who she wants for her boyfriend, you're not going to get too far. You're probably going to make it 10 times worse. Well, your mother's already disowned you, but I think it's going to be, yeah, there's nothing you're really going to do. I mean, you're interested in the McStay family murder verdict too. So the McStay family murder. That sounds like guys your mom dates. Oh my gosh. Really? Somebody told me that the Cougars it was the way it was at. The McStay case is an old case from 2010. So why did that take so long to go to trial? This has only been on for a few days, I believe. Hi, Maui chickadees. Most of my family thinks it's horrible. He's 49 and my mom's 75. Yeah, but unfortunately, if your mother, I don't know. I mean, if she was not of sound mind and he was taking advantage of her or something, that would be a different story. But if she's of sound mind and she says, "This is my choice, leave me alone," you're not going to really get anything done. Hi, Sharon. Baby Amaya, I know, still not found. Neither is Kelsey Barrett and someone else I was just thinking about today is not found. There's Baby Amaya. There was Kelsey Barrett. Oh, I don't think that woman from Texas that I did something on way, way long ago was ever found. And what about was Lynn Keel's wife ever found from North Carolina? I know they got him. Is it the lady from Connecticut's never been found? There's a lot of people that have not been found. She has not been found, but they know. There's, I guess, so much DNA evidence. Her blood all over clothing, her blood in the garage, her blood on sponges, so much there. I need help getting, okay. The McStay jury is only deliberating part-time because of some problems a juror had. Anyway, they're deliberating in the afternoon. There's so much forensic accounting and photo review. Okay. Good night, snow remover. Thank you for the birthday email, snow remover. I think she was found, and that's why he got out. Is that, I'm trying to remember. There's so many. I mean, I did something on it, and I know he was on the run, and then they pulled him over, and he had a bunch of cash in the car. The woman in the elevator, Elisa Lamb, is the weirdest case. What's with all these girlfriends helping their husbands? Yeah, I don't know. It was a family that went missing, and it came out to be one of the dad's husband's co-workers. Wow. Doulos' girlfriend may turn state's evidence to avoid conviction for her own. Oh, so kind of like Frazie's girlfriend. You've started watching the Megan Lamone case? Every evening I look forward to. Hi, Turtle Girl. Yeah, I didn't get to do my turtle video today. Jimmy did a bunch of drone stuff today, but he didn't, of course, get it edited well. Hi, Jessica. What's a victim's impact statement, Alicia? Well, it's where during the sentencing phase, the families of the victims, so it would be Amber, okay? I don't know who else other than Amber might be speaking there, will go up and explain, how this has impacted her life. And just like Sandy Rusak, Frankie Rusak and Frank Rusak did in the Watts at the sentencing. Just like Travis Alexander's family went up and spoke. And what was I going to say? Yeah. So you can. I mean, it's very normal that you hear that. That's when their family, the family of those affected, like also Michael Peterson, you probably saw when his wife's sister spoke. I'm trying to think. O.J. Simpson. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember who spoke. Who spoke at O.J. Simpson's for the victim's impact statement? I'm sure it's probably her sister with the dark hair. If Amber gives the victim's impact statement, she is giving one, Karen. She will give one. You watched the documentary last night on the cop convicted and released after planning on killing and eating women. He chatted about it on the dark web. You're not on the dark web, are you, Amanda? That's a really bad place to be. Happy Wife says, when victims get a chance to speak, it's so important we listen. Ron's family, yeah, but Nicole's family, no one from Nicole's family spoke, I'm sure. No, Robert Kardashian was the attorney. He wouldn't speak in the victim. He's not a victim. You can't wait to hear how the judge really feels during the sentencing. Yeah. I think the father of the young man that was killed. Yeah, that's the, yes, right there. But I think one of her sisters had to have, right? Bridget C., is mommy worried? What? What's the matter, Bridget? What is Bridget worried about? You watch the O.J. verdict in school. I think she'll be strong enough. I mean, she'll probably break down, I'm sure. But I think she'll be able to do it because she's doing it for her kids. She's worried. Oh, no, she's okay. She's okay. Don't worry, Bridget. Ouch. I hope Amber calls him out for being selfish. No, she's okay. She's okay. Bella Mac, I honestly can't. So I'm in love with it. I honestly can't wait. You can't wait a whole year? So I am, what Priscilla? I'm missing that. Mommy doesn't get that I'm worried about her. About who, Angel Kelly? Christina's fine. Christina's fine. Hi, Narc Shark. Alessia Nelson, I am also in Canada. Right, Jessica. When you pour your drink, I know, Bergstrong. Say, Alessia Nelson, I thought you were, weren't you? I thought you were in Las Vegas. Maybe I have you mixed up with someone else. I thought you told a story about like something about a cop and there are some trolls and there was one Karen something. That's some loud soda I have there. So you don't know how to live outside of YouTube, Bridget? You're freezing? Why, Jenna? Is it cold up there? Hi, Ashley. It was actually warmer here today. I mean, it's not, I don't think it's anywhere near as warm as it should be, but it's actually, you were in the USA last night in your dream, right there in the kitchen with me? Were you making some Swedish cookies or something? Sure, Diana. I don't watch regular TV. I just watch YouTube. Really? Some disgusting trolls? How disgusting were they? Who remembers Match Game? Do you remember Match Game? And they used to always do that. Sandy was so whatever. How? Okay. And they always had the regulars on there. Was that Bridget? Was her name Bridget? Who was the one that sat in the middle? No, you know, Charlene, I haven't. I should. No, it was Gene Rayburn on Match Game. They had Richard Dawson was the guy on the, was a guy in the, yeah, he was on the bottom, right? And then they had that guy that, wasn't he like the skipper or somebody? Who was he? He sat next to the one in the middle. I think she had a name with a B, right? Gene Rayburn was the host, right? You're in severe dental pain? Oh, okay. You got the prayers. Oh, I hope you feel better. That's the worst. That's the worst, Ocean Girl. I hope you feel better. Yeah, that's who it was. Charles Nelson Riley. Yes, you're right. He was on the end on the top. And then the woman with the B in the middle it wasn't Bridget, she had oh, it's going to drive me crazy. She was always on. They never changed. But the one that would change would be the one on the bottom next to Richard Dawson and next to him, Brett Summers. That's who it was, right? Brett Summers, Charles Nelson Riley, and Richard Dawson were always on there. Then they had 3 guests, right? The first one was always a guest, and then they would stay the whole week. I'm surprised they haven't done a reboot of that game. It was one woman, and she was disgusting. Sounds like fun, Molly. Did they not get her out of there, or did they let her just keep going? Paul Lind, yeah. That was he was on the Hollywood Squares. Is that where that puppet, what was her puppet, Madam? Where did Madam get her start? You know that puppet with the really, really huge chin? I think she used to be on the Hollywood Squares with someone, didn't she? That was wasn't J.P. Morgan the one on the Gong Show? No, the live chat. Oh, it was a troll in the comments? Oh, okay. What about Paul Lynn? Yeah, but that's the Hollywood Square, Center Square, yeah. Maribel, if it says retracted, that means you did it. Okay, you might have done it accidentally. That's probably what happened. If it's retracted, it could be done by you only. If someone did it, like a moderator, it would say your message was deleted. So you probably accidentally did something. Hi, Leaping Lizards. What happened to Nora? Oh, I'm sorry, your dog. Sorry about your dog, Nora. Hi, Judy. I can remember them. Yeah, I can remember them. Match Game, I don't know if it was reruns or something, but it used to be on during the day, like after school. You know which game show I really liked? I bet you, let's see how many people know this one. Do you remember Treasure Hunt? Oh my gosh, I loved that show, Treasure Hunt. Does anybody remember that one? I think it was on like Channel 5. And it was only on, I really liked it. Had all the boxes. You don't remember Treasure Hunt? You sent me an email? Okay. You think you do remember that show? You love Treasure Hunt. Yeah, so did I. It was never on enough. I don't know. You don't remember it and you're an old person? Do you remember? Oh, the Name That Tune. I would never, because like, well, maybe if music, but it was the music. Of course, I was too young, and the music it wasn't music that I was listening to, so I could, but they would get it. I could name that in one note. Oh, you're very confident, Oh my gosh. Treasure Hunt, probably. Candid Camera, yeah, I remember that. Candid Camera. You don't remember Treasure Hunt? Wow. You remember Topo? Remember the one with the devils? My sister used to watch that all the time. It came on like Channel 9 or 11, like on the Northeast. What was that? And I always swore that it was fixed. I would say that is so fixed. They put that devil up there. They have something behind it, just like devil, and then the person would go up and spin, and they had to get to 1,000 without not pressure lock. It was and it was the creepiest looking devil. Do you remember it? Joker's Wild, yeah, and it was the creepiest looking devil. And I swear, I guarantee you that show was fixed. The way it was, I think they has a devil. Oh, devil, too bad. My daughter at Supermarket Sweep, yeah, they watched that on reruns. I'm like, when did you ever watch? She's like, you don't remember? I'm like, no, she should maybe watch it. And then it was always Joker's Wild and then Tic-Tac-Toe, right? Tic-Tac-Toe. And what was the word one with Chuck Woolery? It wasn't Scrabble. It wasn't Scrabble, but it was something like that. In the morning, I know that if you had stayed home from school, you would see it. And then that crazy one, what was Card Sharks? My nephew, I think he's gonna be 31. He would love that. He loved that show. He would stay home from school at Card Sharks. Concentration. Yeah, I actually had the board game Password. Yeah, I had Password too. We used to love it. We had the little thing and had a little that thing you could only see a little red thing. Oh, I used to love that Password. Beat the Clock. Yeah, we have a bad story about Beat the Clock in our family. I'm aging you all fast. Yeah, I'm sorry. Birdie was on the Bozo Show. You were on the Bozo Show, Birdie? Wow. I used to have a clown that looked like Bozo. You had the board game of Concentration too? Yeah. Had the paper thing that went in the roll. I had think about how silly, I had the game of Price is Right too. And then do you remember when they made those games and they came on a VHS tape or something? It's crazy, like the dating game. Mm-hmm. And then there was, which one I liked? Which is the one? Was it To Tell the Truth? Will the real Margaret somebody stand up? And then they all do that fake stand up. And then the real one gets up. Oh, right. The 10,000. That was another one. The $10,000 pyramid. And then didn't it go up in value? That was a good one when you were home from school. We would all talk about that when you're home from school. You were home from school. Did you get to watch The Price is Right? The Price is Right you could watch because they had an evening version one, like on Saturday night or something, right? But certain ones like Wheel of Fortune was in the daytime at, I think, only. You watched an old show called Give Me a Break with Nell Carter. Yeah, I know that one. Give Me a Break, yeah. The father was like, wait. Yeah, Give Me a Break was the father that was widowed, right? With the girls. And Nell Carter was the nanny, right? James and said American game shows are weird sounding. But what was the other one? The one that had Ben Stiller's parents on it all the time. The one where they wore headphones, and then you had that guy Bert on there all the time. You had Bert and his wife, and you always had Ben Stiller's parents, which Jerry Stiller and Ann Mira. What was that? What was it? It wasn't Tell the Truth. It was not What's My Line. Tattletales. That's it. Tattletales. That was another one. They had a lot of game shows. We kind of moved past that, right? There's not a lot of game shows anymore. Like, what's on during the day? There's a lot of talk shows. There's not a lot of games. There were way more game shows. They were also on King of Queens, yeah. Truth or Consequences. Oh, the Newlywed Game. Yeah, that was another one. We actually had a version of that too in a board game. Panel talk shows. You loved Kevin Dobson. They took off all the soaps too. You love walking down what memory lane here? Yeah. Jerry Springer. I thought Jerry Springer had died, and somebody said, yeah, no, he hasn't died. Lifetime crime movies. I'm trying to remember. What other ones? You met a diet star in the 90s who? Richard Simmons? Remember Richard Simmons was missing or some big thing? Richard Simmons is missing. Benson, soap, right. You love the Newlywed Game. They brought it back, right? They brought it back. Like when I was a kid, the Newlywed Game was old, and then who was it? Was it Bob Eubanks, right? And it was like on Channel 11, and he always Whoopi, right? That was the big thing. And then they brought it back, right? Wasn't there the new Newlywed Game? It was brought back. Phil Donahue. Yeah, I loved Phil Donahue. He was very good, Phil Donahue. He had a really nice voice, too. Survivor is one of your favorites? You watched All My Children? My sister used to watch All My Children. The only ones on now, right, is the Young and the Restless and The Bold and the Beautiful. And I think one on NBC, right? Let's Make a Deal. We used to like Let's Make a Deal because the lady that used to show the stuff was Meryl Carroll. Was it Carol Merrill or Meryl Carroll? One of the other. But my sister's name is Marilyn, and I was Carolyn, so we said, oh, that was for both of us. Carol Merrill, right? Carol Merrill, was it? Give me a break. Are you just watching that show now? Give me a break. Do you remember? Oh, The Facts of Life used to be in the boarding school, remember? And then they had to cut the cast down. So then the girls got in trouble, and they had to move above the cafeteria with Mrs. G? Is that her name? Was Mrs. G? Is a scriptwriter on that show? I've never seen that, Teacup. Three's Company. Jerry Springer. Yeah, I thought, Jerry Springer and Louis Anderson. I still think Louis Anderson. I haven't seen him in ages. The Wonder Years. Yeah, that was a good show. I actually have from for a blog thing, they actually sent me this Wonder Years locker. It's an actual locker, and then it had like all the seasons in there, and it was Mrs. Garrett, right, Mrs. G. And then Joe Polnicek, right? That was Joe Polnicek. She was really rough around the edges. But it was the sister of the, do you know who it was the real life sister of? The boy that played Alice's son in Mel's, what was the name of this show? Was it Alice? The one with Mel's Diner, is that the name of it? Yeah. That was her brother. Oh, I've got a good one for you guys. You know what one of my favorite shows was growing up? It was a drama. Let's see if you can guess this one. It was a drama, because we can have a fun night, because tomorrow's going to be, we're going to go back into Tim Jones and stuff. So we can have a wind down night, down memory lane. Okay, so here it is. This is virtual charades. It was a drama. It was on ABC. It had a cast that major actors were launched. You know, they were either very well-known actors when they were in it, or their careers, you know, just kept going up. And what else can I say? They would show you the house. It's a drama, remember? And what can I tell you without giving it away? There were different generations in it. No, not Dallas, not Dynasty, no. Family, you got it. Kathy Heff got it. Family, did you watch that one with, was it Selma Thomas was the mother, Matthew Broderick was in it, Meredith Baxter Burney. It had a lot of new things, like Meredith Baxter Burney got divorced and she moved into a guest house with her son. And then they also did a storyline. And then Selma Thomas had the oldest, Christy McNichol, right? And then the oldest brother, no, Matthew Broderick wasn't in it. I'm sorry. His father was in it. His father was the father. I'm sorry about that. Christy McNichol was in it. And then the guy that played Willie, I always liked that guy that played Willie. But they did a lot of very cutting-edge storylines. And I really liked the mother. She was very motherly nice, right? What was that afternoon drama that was kind of dark? Dark Shadows? It was like a soap opera, but really dark. My sister used to watch that, and she had these cards or something that they were sent, and yeah, family, late 70s. And then, believe it or not, that show, Family, I wish they would put that on reruns. That was a good show. I really would like to watch it. 8 is Enough, yeah. And you have 8 children now? 8 is Enough was a good one. But Family was a really good show. I loved Family. Sadie Thompson, right? Sadie, yeah. She had a great voice, and she had like all this motherly wisdom. Willie, right? Yeah, I don't know why I'm thinking Matthew Broderick. Yeah, it's his dad. Family is on YouTube? Okay. James at 15, yeah. James at 15. That's funny. But Family was on, believe it or not, and here's how I know. When we built this house, it was on, and that was in the 90s, but it was on like at 3 in the morning. I'm not kidding you. And I was like, there was no YouTube, okay, because it was like the early 90s. Party of 5 was very good, yeah. Hey, Team Phoenix, but Dawson's Creek, yeah, I never watched that one. Was it Family Ties? Yep, Family Ties, that was good. I'll always remember that Tom Hanks made an appearance on it as Elise's brother. And he was like really whacked out, like he was involved in some crazy thing. And he picked up the phone and he's like, "The eagle has landed. the falcon is something about the falcon. And then it was a joke in our house. Every time we would pick up the phone, we'd say, like, the eagle has landed. I don't know, the falcon flies alone. Mork and Mindy, yeah. I had slime, okay? It was Mork and Mindy slime. It came in an egg. And I think inside was Mork and Mindy's baby, which was that older guy, Jonathan Winters. Remember when they had a baby and it was Jonathan Winters? That's when the show started getting weird. Welcome Back, Kotter. That was really good. Welcome Back, Kotter. I got a note. Oh yeah, you never saw his. You just saw his eyes. You never saw his face. Wilson. Mary Hartman. That was on like at 11 o'clock on Channel 5. I remember in the summer because it would be on, we only got like 3 stations up when we came up for the summer. And one of that was, Mary Hartman. It came on after the 10 o'clock news. Moonlighting. And then Taxi, right? Taxi is one. Anyone watch Wentworth? I've seen it on Netflix. I haven't watched it, Lisa. All the photos. Yeah, I don't know. I really loved that show. Even as a young, I'll never forget. I think we were in 6th or 7th grade. And VCRs and everything were just coming out or whatever. And I went over to my girlfriend's house and she's like, oh my gosh, we taped Family from last night, because it was that episode where Sadie Thompson, I guess she must have been in her 40s. Like she got pregnant and she lost the baby. Do you remember that episode? Or no, did she lose the baby? There was something really controversial. Or wait, was she she was considering an abortion because she was so old? Does anybody remember that? It was like a cutting edge episode. But I think she didn't have it. She had a miscarriage instead. But the whole thing was that she was considering that. So it was like, oh my gosh. And I'll never forget, my friend was like, we taped it. It's on the VCR. And before that, I don't even want to tell you. Did you ever, those of you that are of age where they didn't have a VCR all the time when you were little, that you would tape your favorite show on a cassette tape just to listen to it again? I must admit, I've done that. You have about 10 episodes of Bewitched on VHS. I feel like I'm the only one that taped anything. Did you, Sunshine? I used to tape things. I remember, I think I taped like an episode of 8 is Enough. You did that too, Dylan? Crazy, right? We were like, hey, this is great. If we could only invent something that could really tape the video along with the audio, we'd be good. You used to have my mom tape Young and the Restless on cassette. Oh, really? Yeah. Quincy? Yeah, Quincy was good. Not Alone, Principe. I felt like I'm like, is anybody else doing this? Heck, we started our first TV. We started out the first TV on your block, black and white. Really, Linda? He was watching Petticoat. You could break the tab on the video, so nobody could record over it, right? You never got your first DVD when you got married, but I was only 18. Never got our first DVD. My brother almost broke the knob that turned the channel. Oh my gosh. Starsky and Hutch. Donnie and Marie dolls. I had, but I don't think I had the Marie. I just had the Donnie, and he had that purple outfit with the fringe on the arms, right? A forensic pathologist, yeah. Do you remember when he Sakura, when he pulled the sheet off and they all, half of them went like one vomited, one fainted. That was always my favorite part of the beginning. Trapper John MD, oh my gosh, please. Gonzo Gates, right? And what was his real name? What did they? Gonzo, I don't know, but that was one of my TV husbands, Gonzo Gates. He lived in a freaking RV in the parking lot of the hospital. Whatever happened to him? Flipper, yeah, I remember Flipper. What about the courtship of Eddie's father? Mr. Eddie's father. Yes, Mr. Eddie's father. God's okay. The Little Rascals I watched on, those were on reruns that I used to, they were on Channel 5. The Outer Limits, yeah, I remember that one. I'm still trying, every time I say I'm going to find those PBS shows that we used to watch in school that you used to wait, and if you were ever homesick, you got to see it, and you felt like, I don't know, like we felt so special if you could get something the school showed at your house. It was like freaky. The Courtship of Eddie's Father, so good, yeah. Wonder Woman. Yeah, VCRs, they started out like, what, like 500, 350 was like the lowest you would get one for. And then if you went to the Betamax, whoops, you made a little mistake. Good Times, yeah, I liked Good Times. They actually, remember when they had Michael Jackson's sister Janet on there, and she was abused, and the mother was burning her with irons and stuff? I was like, oh my gosh, yeah. I learned a lot of stuff on Good Times. Yeah, there was a lot of that one time that Thelma, didn't she find somebody either that was who were those people that were doing the IV drugs? I didn't even know what the heck that was when I was like, what? And they always like, and then like, if it was a two-parter, then you didn't know what happened. It just ended like that. You had to wait an entire week to find out. And it was good when you could watch it on reruns because they would put the next one on the next day. Bonanza in the Big Valley. Different Strokes. Yeah, I like Different Strokes. That's sad, right? Kimberly, the lady that played Kimberly Drummond, she died, right? And I think Arnold died as well. And then Todd Bridges went to prison. And do you remember when Todd Bridges called in? He used to call into the Sally Jesse Raphael show. And I'll never forget, from prison. And he was on the phone one day, and he was freaking out because he's like, they're going to take me to the hole now. And I was like, whoa. Yeah. Dana Plato, she died, right? And that was crazy. And I'm like, whoa. Yeah, I forget what happened. And Sally Jesse Raphael's like, oh, I'm going to try to get you out. Whatever. I don't know what the heck she said. Bill Bixby. June Cleaver. I'll never forget when we got cable and we finally got, I don't know what it was, like TV, some show, probably. That's when I saw Leave It to Beaver, like in high school is when I discovered Leave It to Beaver, because whatever cable we got back then had those on, and I was like obsessed watching those reruns. Mike was Gloria's husband, right? The Andy Griffith, yeah. Michael Landon died, yeah. He died young. You get to leave it to the cooker. Gilligan's Island, why they can never get off the island. Yeah, it drove you crazy, right? You have an autographed photo of Gary Coleman. Remember on Nickelodeon in the 80s? You can't do that on television, yeah. What cable first came out? It was all Westerns. Talk shows could talk about what happened to the Hollywood kids. Marcus Welby, MD, yeah, I love that. Little House on the Prairie, yep. Green Acres, that was another one that was on during the day. Oh, and the Talking Mr. Ed. That was another one when you were home from school you could see. And the old Dennis the Menace, right? They were all on together. I think it was like Dennis the Menace, Mr. Ed, and then Green Acres in the morning. The Dick Van Dyke Show, I love that. Yeah. You got it, Charlene. Nanny and the Professor, yeah. Who knows this one? Banana Splits. It sounds familiar. Kojak, Beretta, yeah, my father watched those. Beverly Hillbillies, yeah. The Munsters, yeah, I like that. 1313 Mockingbird Lane. Don't give out your address. You loved Dennis the Menace, yeah. His last name was Stabone, I think. He actually died by suicide. I just arrived, and good Lord, I aged immediately. Why are you recognizing all these things? Grizzly Adams, The Flying Nun. My sister loved that, The Flying Nun. The Mod Squad, yeah. Banana Splits from Saturday Morning. Tales from the Crypt and the Twilight Zone, yes. Team Phoenix. Chuck Woolery. Yeah, but didn't Chuck Woolery also do that that word game show that I'm talking about? In the morning? Jetsons? Did you? Yes, Life Goes On, huh? Say, yeah. I love the theme song too, you know. The Beatles. Captain Kangaroo, yeah, with Mr. Green Jeans. Love American Style. That was, yeah, those little, there was like 3 stories, right? What was that? Police drama. He had a lollipop. Kojak. The Electric Company, yeah. Yeah. Do you remember The Magic Garden? That was another one if you were home from school. With Paula and Carol. And Story Box. Remember it's time for story? And the little pink squirrel that lived in the tree. What was his name? Sherlock? Awful, isn't it? And really, 73 is young. Makes me nervous now. The Chuckle Patch. We used to pretend, my friends and I, we used to go like about a bunch of leaves. Okay, we're going to go to the Chuckle Patch, and then we would just make up jokes. I wish someone would do a remake of the Jetsons. Longstocking. News Review, yes, that was very hard to find on. And I remember my sister and I found a VHS tape, like in the early 90s in toy liquidators. I don't know if you ever had a toy liquidators around you. And we found it there and we're like flipped out because we could never, like that show came on like at 5 o'clock in the morning. You took your son, really? The Magic Garden in person. Wow. You win the prize there, Charlene. Even before the peonies, which I don't think you might win, but you might. Thank you, Lisa. Thumbs up for Peppa Pig. Remember the Jetsons, Meet the Flintstones. Please donate the daisies. Yes, I've heard of that one. You love the News Review? it's the news review coming right at you, right? And Henrietta Hippo, and then you've got the frog and the owl, but it was so hard to find on. It was like, if you found it, you were like freaking out. Peppa Pig. Peppa Pig is kind of weird. Like, I was like, is this for real? Like, I thought this was like, because they always have those things like, don't let your kids watch Peppa Pig. It was like something that's supposed to come up. But then I was like, my friend's like, no, that's the real episode. And I'm like, that's okay? And they're like, yeah, it's a little weird. Land of the Lost. I like that, Land of the Lost. The Love Boat. Yeah, that came on before Fantasy Island, right? Fantasy Island. And then when you were a child, you watched Skippy, the Bush Kangaroo, Safari, Clarence the Lion. What was the one where the dad goes to war? That dad goes to war? Was it it was a sitcom? Or is it a movie? Schoolhouse Rock, Conjunction Junction, what's your function? Yeah. And the bill on Capitol Hill. Donny Osmond, Rick Springfield, Sean Cassidy. I was never for, or Andy Gibb, and that was not really Donny Osmond. Rick Springfield. Yes. You met Celeste Stallone. Goldie Hawn went to your high school, Miss Mary. Land of the Lost, and what was the other one where the trees talk? Oh, was it Sigmund? And wasn't there like a hairy little, like a Family Affair? Yeah, I love Family Affair. And Mr. French. I always wanted a Mr. French. Why can't we have a Mr. French? Tiger Beat. Yeah, my sister and I used to have pictures up. The show with the chimpanzees. Planet of the Apes. Sigmund and the Sea Monsters. Yeah. Sonny and Cher, yeah, at the end when Chastity ran out, yeah. American Bandstand, right. I woke up in love this morning. Oh my gosh, my sister was obsessed with Ice Castles. She was obsessed with that movie. I think she's seen that movie like 100 times. Here's another one for you. Let's see if you know this one. Do you remember the movie? It had to be early 70s. It was filled with John Denver's music. They did make a sitcom spin-off of it, but it never really took off. The woman, it was the same thing. There was a lot of cancer themes in the 70s, people dying of cancer, okay? Well, this couple just got married. They had the like cutest little 2-year-old. My sister actually had an album from this movie. She loved this movie. Sunshine. It was just called Sunshine, right? She loved that movie. She could never find it again. And then I found it on eBay like in 2006. And I got a copy of it on what was it on? It was like on a DVD, but it was terrible quality. It was like somebody, I don't know where they took a video of it, but it was like the only thing you could find. But I think I saw it on YouTube or something now. It was Sunshine. It was called Sunshine. It was a tearjerker, and my sister had the album, and the album had like the whole story and all the pictures from the show and then all the music, and oh, she was obsessed with that too. Yeah, John Denver, yeah. The Boy in the Plastic Bubble, yeah. The father from the Brady Bunch was in there, and John Travolta was the boy in the plastic bubble. Oh my gosh, Brian's song. That's a tearjerker. I think I have that on VHS or did I end the end, right? In the end, it wasn't how he died. It was how he lived. how he really did live. And then you see him running and the theme song playing and you're crying your eyes out, right? Sunshine, that's how you got your name? Where the red fern grows. Robbie Benson, Billy Joe McAllister, yeah. The magic garden is waiting for us. The other side of the mountain. Thornbirds, north and south, still your favorite? They made us watch Brian's song in 7th grade outdoor camp. Something for Joey. I was just thinking, oh, see, this is scary. Amy, Justice League, this is scary. I was just thinking about that movie, and I said, what movie is it? That's the one, isn't that the one where, I said, but they probably won't know this one, because it's where he was the brother of a football star or something, and then he had leukemia or something. He lost his hair, and then it came back curly. Is that the one, Something for Joey? Oh, the Champ movie, right? When he calls him a pain in the ass, and then they bring him around, and he goes, you know what you are? And the kid's like, a pain in the ass. And then you're crying like crazy, right? Because of just like, why are you crying? Oh, because the kid remembered that his father called him a pain in the ass. Yeah. That's Something for Joey? Yeah. Oh my gosh. The 70s, early 80s, it was like all about the real tearjerkers, right? Old Yeller. Yeah. The Way We Were, You Cry Every Time. The Champ was, yeah. And remember when you said 8 is enough, right? The original mother in 8 is Enough, she was Diana, right? And she died of cancer, and she was older, way older than John Travolta, right? Isn't that who John Travolta's like first real love was? And then she died, and he got an award later on, and he was like, Diana, this is for you. Do you remember that? Right, and then, I don't know if you're like me, Ivy Lee, when you watch a movie like that, you're like, gosh, you think you have whatever they had in the movie, and then you're like, oh my gosh, that was like every time with me. And then I'd be like, Carolyn, no, we do this every time there's a movie like this. Just because you're watching a movie like that doesn't mean you have the same thing. Oh my gosh, yeah. John Travolta loved her, yeah. But it was the mother from 8 is Enough, and then they had to get a new mother, right? He was filming Saturday Night Fever when she died, and he was doing Welcome Back, Kotter too. And he sang that song, I'm Gonna Let Her In. The old Barbara Streisand. I have a contract. Well, when you watch those movies, it's like a lot of people feel like that. It's like, it's scary because you're like trying to watch the movie and then you're trying to think like, wait, what symptom did she have? Oh my gosh, I had that symptom yesterday. Ghost, yeah. You still cry over Lassie? I could never watch Bambi. Oh, not the beginning. I had to like get past the beginning. You have been dying so many times throughout your life. At least you thought you were. Diana Hyland. Yes, that's who it is. Yeah. Cloris Leachman, right? Phyllis. You remember that sitcom Phyllis? Rhoda. Yeah, Mary Tyler Moore, and then Rhoda, the Goodbye Girl. Yeah. Diana Hyland was John's first real-life love. She died of cancer in his arms in 1977. You just watched The Color Purple for the first time? I saw The Color Purple in the movie theater. Yeah. Terms of Endearment. Yep, I saw that in the theaters too. John wore his wedding suit to her funeral also. Wow. Deborah Winger lives near me. You know that? She has a house not like literally down the road from me. And officer, yeah, way to go, Paula. Mountain Family Robinson. Yeah, she goes to restaurants in town, and yeah, Deborah Winger. Yep. You heard she's very difficult to work with, Charlene? Didn't she become a hot mess? Deborah Winger, she married Timothy Hutton. They had a little baby girl, and then she didn't. I don't think she hasn't done a lot. I mean, much lately. Urban Cowboy, yeah, that was a good movie. Urban Cowboy. What was the other? Oh, I know. Remember the movie Ordinary People? That was like one of the first ones that took on, what was it, suicide? And who was in that? Mary Tyler Moore and Donald Sutherland, wasn't it? And it was Timothy Hutton, right, in that one? I used to love Timothy Hutton, so I watched anything he was. I even watched the movie Taps. Officer and a Gentleman, right? The Big Chill, yeah. Taps was a crazy movie. Yeah, I just watched it for Timothy Hutton mainly. So you had to watch that movie in your psychology class, Ordinary People. Very serious movie. Family didn't communicate very well. No, Mary Tyler Moore was really cold, a very cold wife in there. Any movie with Sam Elliott? Your mother took you to see the movie Who is Watching the Children? That sounds so familiar. Who is Watching the Children? Black Widow, Steel Magnolias, yeah. Your dad played Captain Kangaroo? Oh, joking. If when I was a child and asked if people were alive still, and my mom would say, no, I couldn't watch anymore, too sad, even though I was so young. Really, Priscilla? Have you ever seen The Other Side of Midnight? I don't think so. Oh, have you checked the children? Stranger in the House. Yeah, is that what the one she means? Yeah, that was scary. It wasn't even, it was just that one part that's all I had to think about if I was ever home alone. That is the only, or if I was babysitting, that's the only part I had to think of, where she got the call. The call is coming from inside the house. That forget it. That even till this day, if I'm home alone and think of that, oh my gosh. Updates on the Delphi motor? None that I've heard. I mean, they thought they found somebody. What was it? They thought they found someone somebody said in Woodland Park, but I didn't hear anything about that. Have you seen Robbie Benson lately? No. Freaked me out. Used to babysit a lot. Yeah. 16 Candles. Yeah. Breakfast. It ruined babysitting for me. Have you checked the children? Little Girl Lost. I watch every time I see it being played on any station. Little Girl Lost. Little Girl Lost. Mary Jane Harper cried last night. Used to be a favorite of mine when I was a kid, believe it or not. Like, I don't know. That's with Susan Day. Susan Day, she was in a lot of crazy made-for-TV movies. She always played usually either mothers that were like deadbeats or alcoholics or abusive, or she played them for so long that she was playing them when I was a kid and still playing. I remember when I had my son Michael, who's 26, she had a movie that had just came out on TV where she was a mother and she either was a drug addict or something and couldn't handle her baby. The baby was born addicted to drugs, and I'm thinking, like, how long has she been playing like the deadbeat mothers? It had to be easily, 15 years or something after the Partridge Family. Partridge Family, Susan Day, yeah. She just played a string of and Mary Jane Harper cried last night. She was like the most abusive mother, and the little kid that played Mary Jane was so cute. And losing eyes, she would like burn her with cigarettes, and then they had this pediatrician, which I think was Rita Moreno, right? Wasn't it her? And apparently Susan Day was the daughter of some very, very wealthy people in town, so everybody cut her a break every time, like, social services went to the house or the police went to the house. They all said, oh, she's so-and-so's daughter, so they all cut her a break. And then this pediatrician at the hospital got so upset, and then I'll never forget, she gets the call, or she makes the call and says, Mary Jane Harper died last night. That was so weird because the little girl was abused so much that she didn't talk anymore. And then Susan Day couldn't take it. She's like, answer me, answer me. And then she like beat her to death because she didn't answer her. It was a shocker in its day. Go ask Alice. Remember The Wizard of Oz? Yeah, at Two Scooter, like, my kids don't understand that. I'm like, you had to wait all year for that to come on, and there was no VCR, there was no DVD, there was nothing. If you missed it, you missed it. Mommy Dearest, yeah. Yes, Mommy Dearest, my daughter and I know every word by heart, and we can just recite them all verbatim. That's like such a cult classic. And do you know, there's this whole, who's that guy that I swear I always thought this guy was dying, okay? But he's been living a long time, so I think that's just the way he looks. I used to like be really scared for him. He's a really skinny, he's a bald guy, and he does like a lot of commentary on movies, but I can't think of his name. But he used to do, I think it was like when they had dinner, not dinner in a movie, but they had like the commentary going on Mommy Dearest. And I never realized anybody did that to this extent, because my daughter and I would do that. I'm your number one fan. Are you making fun of me, Christina? What did you put in your hair? It's just setting lotion. Setting lotion. Why did you adopt me? You remember that really happened. That scene happened because that reporter wrote about that. And can you imagine that happening in someone's house today in Hollywood, right? Something going that far where the mother is like on the floor strangling the daughter? That's so crazy. Hello there, Dawn. I can't even, can you, It would be like an inside edition on everything. Who was the reporter? That was someone, I can't think of who it is. Wire hangers. What are wire hangers doing in this closet? $300 dress on a wire hanger. She has that. But Faye Dunaway regretted doing that movie because she was so typecast after that. She regretted doing that. I could watch that movie anytime. If mommy doesn't like you, she can make you disappear. My daughter and I always do the one, quitter. Like she'll always say that to me if I quitter. And then I'm bigger and stronger than you, and I'll beat you every time. Fatal Vision freaked me out about the, I remember watching that one too, Anna, yeah. I think they only sell plastic. Well, don't you understand? The dry cleaners would send her the dresses home, and the little girl's job, Rosemary, I have to tell you about it, was to take them off the wire hangers and put them on the quilted hangers that she had in there. And she didn't. That was the whole thing. Paper Moon, yeah. He beat the girl with the wire hanger in there, right? Yeah. That was the girl. Wasn't that the girl that was also in European Vacation? And then she died too of like some kind of complication from diabetes, didn't she? It was Dana something. Yes, that's another thing. Oh my gosh, Teresa, we act that out too. When I'm trimming the shrubs are in the front with those. I always do that. I without fail. I'm like, Hollywood royalty, Christina, bring me the axe. I do that all the time, even if I'm there alone. So, yeah. You two, hurry, pick up all of this stuff, put it in the wheelbarrow and drag it away. Yeah, Dana Hill. I do that all the time. It makes trimming shrubs fun. Hollywood royalty. The girl, she died, yeah. Or the one about the dirt. I'm not mad at you, Helga. I'm mad at this dirt. Now, come on. Get on the floor now with me, and we're going to scrub this floor. You and I, together. Now, scrub. It makes cleaning fun and stuff. Endless Love. That was a weird movie in its time, right? I still remember that guy, yeah. Neighbors. It's good that I don't have neighbors that are really close, but I still do it with neighbors that are really close. Charlene, you should try that when you're gardening, trimming some stuff. It's very therapeutic. You'll write me an email later and fill me in. Oh, you're going to Bridget. Did anyone see the Burbs? I think I did. I'm trying to remember. I saw the money. Remember the Money Pit? Oh, the Blue Lagoon. Yes, that was another one that was. Get mad at that. I have to clean the dirt. And then when he walks in and she says, what does she say? Take off your shoes. I just polished that floor. And then he goes, do I have to take my socks off too? And she says, I can handle the socks. And then they go upstairs and she goes to take a shower and she's got like 19 different shower heads in that shower. Oh my gosh. You like Cheers? What was I going to tell you about one movie? And I said, wait a minute, I'll tell you about that movie. What movie was it that I said I was going to tell you about? You don't remember? The bathroom floor scene, yeah, with the it was I believe it was Bon Ami that she said she beat her over the head, and I'll never forget. I read that when I was like 10 years old in the book. Yeah, I was reading that book when I don't even know. I remember I bought it in the Grand Union with my parents. I'm like, I'm just going to get this, and my parents, I don't even think they knew what it was. And I remember reading that, and that was the most horrifying thing in the whole book, is the scene where she beat her with the Bon Ami because the floor wasn't clean enough. And when you're reading the book, the girl's like, I had it in my eyes, in my mouth. I didn't know if I was going to die. I don't know what movie I said. I'll tell you about that. I got to tell you about that movie. I don't remember which one it was. But that movie, that part was really good. When she's like, did you wash the bathroom floor today? Yes. Do you think this is clean? Carol Ann thinks it's clean. Carol Ann thinks it's clean. Do you think it's clean? Oh my gosh, that was so crazy. You know, if you like Joan Crawford, it's so funny. Have you seen the Joan Crawford YouTube? I had to make if you want to get a laugh, you have to watch it. Oh my gosh. I might have it in a playlist or something on my channel. It is Joan Crawford reading a book she wrote, just like a book about life, about everything you have to do, from how you entertain to how a woman should dress, and how a woman, Rosemary's Baby, yeah, how a woman should treat a man. Like, my daughter was like cracking up because she's talking about like women in the workplace. And so it's so funny. She's like, you have to walk a fine line between, and just her voice is very soothing, even though like probably it's terrifying to her kids. I don't know, but she just has a very soothing voice when she reads this. And she talks about like how she goes on trips and what she packs, and you just have to hear like the stuff that she goes through. Did you ever hear that? On Golden Pond, the boy that played in that on Golden Pond lived on the same street as my brother-in-law growing up, and they knew them. Okay, Rosemary's Baby. For years, I saw only Rosemary's Baby when it was on like regular TV or something, and I thought it was actually a relaxing movie for me. Like, just, I didn't like the end part with I couldn't look at the whatever, but they didn't show you. When I actually saw the real Rosemary's Baby, where they showed you that whole scene of how she got pregnant, that scared the out of me. I think it was wasn't it up in Maine, I think? Who, Joan Crawford? And then the little girl would mix the drinks, right? That's how I mix all of my uncle's drinks. Well, I'm not your uncle. Mary Poppins, yeah. But you have to listen to that Joan Crawford stuff. I swear you have to listen to it. It's a book about how to live your life. I swear to you, you have to listen to it. It's a whole bunch of different parts. I'm going to give you the link because you have to listen to this. I'm telling you, you're going to thank me. It's called My Way of Life. And I'll show you the ones that I listen to. It's okay. Here's the first one. Okay, this is the first one. And then you can go on every other one and listen to it. I'm telling you, you're going to thank me. Well, most of you. Some of you might not. But I'm just telling you. Where I have to make it back to the chat. I'm not kidding you. It's the kind of thing you can put on because it's just audio, but you could put it on if you're cleaning or you're driving or you're doing something. Just listen to it. And her voice is very soothing. So it's something like, I'm telling you, it is really soothing. Yes, it is Joan Crawford reading. I'm not kidding. It's her book about her life. And when you hear like how she packs or how she puts on her makeup, oh my gosh. And then how she's got, I think it's her assistant, how many things they take with them and the whole regime they go to when they get to the hotel. Oh my gosh. But look at the stuff about entertaining, right? And you get to that and she tells you, there's no excuse. And she tells you like how to make the meat and you should have this and you should have that. You could never watch Silence of the Lambs? Oh yeah, Teresa, you have to listen to it. Yeah, you're welcome. Believe me, you're going to thank me. It's crazy, but listen, because she was a very strong woman in the workplace, but listen to what she tells you. Like some of the stuff, she's like, you don't want to be like this one in the workplace, but you also don't want to be, stepped on by the men in the workplace. And she tells you, you never want to wear, you always wear these heels and this skirt. And she tells you like what to eat. Okay. And don't eat this food and don't eat that food. And oh my gosh, I just gave you the link. Didn't you get the link? Yeah, it is really good. There's a whole bunch of parts. I'm telling you, you have to listen to it. Just popped off to put Joan. Yeah, you have to watch that. I'm telling you, you're going to love me for that. Thanks. It's just whether you get a kick out of it or what, especially if you like, her voice is, as I'm saying, her voice is soothing, but like you can't imagine her in the other stuff. But there's a whole controversy too between Christina and Christopher and then the twins, right? The twins say that, yes, she was strict and yes, she had this stuff, but that they said she wasn't abusive. But Christopher and Christina say she was very abusive. And then Kirk Douglas, I think it was Kirk Douglas, he went to her house, as one of her suitors and said, I think it was him, said that she was very, very proud of how her children were strapped in their beds and showed him that. So some of this stuff was true. The first two kids were not, they were not left anything for reasons that are well known to them. Remember Baby Boom with Diane Keaton? That's when somebody sent their dogs on the stairs. It reminded me of the Baby Boom house. She was easy on the twins. I don't know if I'd say easy. Listen to her book. I don't think she was easy on them. I don't think she was as abusive because there are like newspaper reporters that, saw her strangling Christina on the floor. So, yes, I think there was truth to what happened. Oh, yeah, Mr. Mom. Yeah, Ivy Lynn. Yes, I quote that all the time, especially when I was working with Disney. Hi, Emil. So it is true. And then there's another scene that's true. Another reporter, apparently the son got in trouble or something. And she told the newspaper reporter, like, I'm going to go, like, beat him with the hairbrush in a little bit or something. Yeah, so, I mean, some of it was true. They say maybe some of it was exaggerated, but I don't know. She definitely was doing something. Remember when she made the girl, she made in the book, she made that girl eat that steak at like for a week until there was like mold on it, she said. It was disgusting. And then she took a bite because she had nothing else to eat. She wasn't allowed anything else to eat. And then she like vomited. Hedda Hoffer? I thought it was maybe for the one with the son, but I thought I recognized the name. I don't think it's her. It's the one with the blonde hair. In one section, she mentions raising kids and how parents want to think of their child ending up, and how no parent wants to think of their child ending up on a psychiatrist's couch. Yeah. Did anyone binge watch? You've been watching The Imposters? I think I started that. I think I started The Imposters. But you've got to watch that Joan Crawford, I'm telling you. Never wants to, right, yeah. Oh, Kramer versus Kramer, right? Yeah, absolutely. And then what was the other one? Do you remember the one with Al Pacino? I think it was Author. And right, he had all those kids and his wife left him. And he's like, what did I forget to do? Beat the kids. I forgot to beat the kids. This is your life. Right. What about that? Oh, Maxwell Smart, right. And then there was that girl on after that. Dead to Me. I've seen that on their Red Rum Babe. Yeah, I've been looking at that. I think I'm going to watch that. It's very good. I think I'm singing to myself, but that's okay. Whatever Happened to Baby Jane? Scary film when you were younger, yeah. And then there's that other one, Homicidal. That's a scary older movie. I'd like to see that again. I wonder if that's on Netflix. Because they had this abusive aunt or something, and then I think her head rolls down the stairs with her wheelchair at the end or something. Kind of like in the Psycho era. Some celebrities gave some collaborating stories. Right, that's what I'm saying, Joseph Smo. I believe it was Kirk Douglas said that he saw the kids strapped to their beds. Safe Room with Jodie Foster. The Burning Bed, Farrah Fawcett. I know one of you told me that Shirley Jones movie about when they adopted those kids and then they took them away. I think Charlene had the name of that. Charlene knows all the old movies. They used to make really good movies on network TV, like every Sunday, and they even had the 4 o'clock movie on ABC. Jaws, you know every line. Jaws, like the first Jaws, I don't know, because I really liked like the family aspect. Yeah, it's a comforting movie, even though it's not comforting like with the shark attacks. But without that, like when Brody and that's comforting to me. That might be like its own kind of, I wonder if that's a form of ASMR, like the sitcoms or the movies we saw like when we were younger, and And if it's, do you know what I'm talking about? And some of them are just like comforting if you watch it anytime. I wonder if that's its own form of ASMR. British comedies. Yeah, the after school specials, right? And the movie of the week. Yep. Very comforting, right? Yeah. Mind program. We're going to need a bigger boat. Yeah. Two sassies. Maybe a neighbor would joke about putting a steak, or a teacher's steak. I don't know. Show me the way to go home. I'm tired. Ghost with Patrick Frazee. What is it called again? Wait, which one? The Joan Crawford? Here, I'll put the link in. Hang on. You've got to check it out. You would like the Ghost Story movie from 1980? I'm going to have to look that up. The Ghost Story movie. Here, let me write that down so I don't forget it, because I do forget things. Ghost Story, 1980. You're a Julia Roberts fan? Did you see that Julia Roberts? It's kind of like, well, it's not true crime, but it's a crime movie. The one where she finds her daughter they find her daughter in a dumpster. I forget what it's called. I think it's on Netflix. Have you seen that one? Something about secrets or something, or Mrs. Brown's Boys is hilarious. I forget what the name of that is. The Faces of Eve. You watched a special on PBS about Downton Abbey movie coming in September. It was good. Mystic Pizza. Yeah, that's a good movie. What was the name of it? It's something about faces or seeing some secrets or something. What happened? So if something happened to Sophia? Oh, yes. He has something diabetes related. Did anyone ever see the movie Born Innocent with Linda Blair and Martin Sheen? I'm not allowed to watch it. Really? But I was sneaky. I watched it in my bedroom with the volume really low. No, I didn't see that. But it made me think of another movie. Do you remember a movie? And I don't know. Can't even remember what the name of it was, but it freaked me out when I was like, I don't know how old I was, like 12 or something. It was with Martin Sheen. He was married. His wife was in the kitchen. She dropped a glass of water or something on the floor, and she was standing in water, and something got stuck in the toaster, and she was digging it out with a knife, which is something I used to do all the time. Didn't think you could get electrocuted, and she got electrocuted and she died. Does anybody remember that one? Eyes of Laura Mars. Do you remember that one? That freaked me out. I'm like, oh my gosh, that can happen? I was freaking. You don't, Charlene doesn't remember that? Wow, Charlene, you're stumped, aren't you? You think it was the Believers? Is that what it was? I only remember that scene. I don't know. You're stumped? Yeah, it was Martin Sheen. I can remember the kitchen. I can see the kitchen. It was a modern kitchen for its time. I think it was like an open floor plan. It had, you could see right through it, and the counter was like a kind of peninsula. And she had the sink here, and she was over right here, and she had spilled water, and she, oh my gosh. No, Lisa, she was digging something out of the toaster, like a bagel got stuck with a knife, with a butter knife. I thought that's what happened, because I know it freaked me out, because I'm like, oh my gosh, I always do that with the knife. You think it's called The Believers? Secret in Their Eyes. Yep, that's the Julia Roberts one. Sybil. Yeah. Remember the cover of that? It was like, because my sister, I think, had that book, and it had like all the little lines in the face for the different personalities. The Believers. Wow. Is it The Believers? Eye for an Eye. Yeah, that was a freaky movie. You remember that? She heard that, and she's like stuck in traffic, and oh my gosh. You like to play Misty for me? What kind of movie? The Believer sounds like science fiction or something. She electrocuted when she touches. Oh, are you sure? I thought it was the toaster. She wasn't digging something out of a toaster. I could swear she was digging something out of a toaster. If it's not her, then somebody, I know somebody else got electrocuted digging something out of a toaster in a movie, standing in a puddle of water. Because I know that I was like freaked. It's a coffee maker? Then somebody else in some other movie gets it with the toaster. So I know I learned that somewhere from a movie. You watched a dark, scary movie on Netflix, and it scared the shh out of you. You don't know what it was? Oh, Hereditary? Yeah, Mrs. Doubtfire. Hi, Lily Bell. Oh, it was Spilled Milk. Okay, so I didn't remember that one too well, but spilled milk. So that's something you don't cry over, but you could die over. My mother always warned me since I was little not to stick utensils in the toaster. Big Little Lies. I've seen the first season, Charlene, but is the new season out yet? That was so weird. Like, I never knew why she had gloves on when she was putting their stuff away. My daughter's like, oh, it's because she doesn't. She must have a very strong Virgo aspects. Yeah, I have the wooden tongs for that now. Oh, that's good, Sophia. Boy in the Attic. Boy in the Attic. Did you say don't ever stick your tonsils? Lonely Bones. Oh, that's a good movie, yeah. Yeah, it reminds me a lot of, say, for me, Lonely Bones reminds me of all of that stuff we were told after Joan D'Alessandro. That movie just hits me like that time. That's one that really gets to me, that movie. It's very, very real for me. Flowers in the Attic, I was so disappointed, Jen. When I saw that, I was never so mad at a movie. I was like, this is nothing like the book. That is so total. I was so mad. I'm telling you, I was just furious. And then they made another remake on Lifetime, a few years ago? Did you know Joan Crawford was abused? Well, she said, Ma, and all her, because I read the book, and I also you could see that in the movie where she's walking on the beach. And she's like, Ma, and all her filth and all her dirt. Because she was going to give these kids the childhood she never had. Is that the present you like best? Then that's the present you may keep. You remember when she took all of her dolls because she heard her daughter pretending, just modeling the same behavior she was? When the daughter was like, you girls are so selfish and so spoiled. You woke Mommy up from her nap, and I told you she had a big audition. And the little girl goes swimming, and she comes back, and where are my babies? All my babies are gone. And she's like, that's good, darling. They were spoiled, bad children. And now you don't have to worry. It's horrible. And she's just putting hand cream. Remember, she just says it. That's good, darling. They were bad, spoiled children. And now they'll never wake you when you need your rest. Oh my gosh. The Omen, yeah. That was freaky. You lived in a split-level house. Like which movie? Red Rum Babe. Which one? Flowers in... Which one? Which split level? Yeah, Amanda. Most of them, yeah. Oh, the Lovely Bones, yeah. Well, that whole neighborhood, is so reminiscent of the 70s and stuff, where the kids are riding their bikes and... Yeah, I was very upset. I was really upset. And I know movies are never like the book and type, but they just totally ridiculously screwed that up. You unplugged your toaster? Oh, and your microwave was not in use? Wow. You're going to bed before Mommy starts telling hatchet stories again. Oh, did you have... Oh, sorry, Carol. Good night. Don't have bad dreams. They butchered them. Yeah, I was just so mad. Also, when I saw The Godfather 3, that was... Actually went to see that on Christmas Day when it came out. And really disappointed in that movie. What do you put in the toaster? Bagels, bread, sometimes toaster strudels. Shining was the first time I had a panic attack. Really? Hitchcock movies like Manic and Psycho. Yeah, I liked Psycho. You got it, some people say. Toast. Oh. I keep plastic tongs. Save electricity, but not getting electrocuted. Yeah, I have Actually, my neighbor a long time ago made me like a set of cherry, because he made a lot of things out of cherry wood. He made me cherry wood tongs. And then I have a set of bamboo too. Oh, well, to Scooter, did you get my link? If you have, did you get my link for the Joan Crawford where she reads her book? You have to. I'm telling you. You have to listen to that. Oh, the copycat with the murders? Yeah, that's very good. Yeah. Those schoolgirls, yeah. Popped off for a few seconds to watch a lady getting... Oh, did you? She stood in milk. Right, the Rockies, yeah. You already listened to it? You have to every one of it? Every chapter? You have to listen to the whole thing. Yeah, with George Burns. Yeah, I forgot about George Burns. Speaking of George Burns, remember that talk show that was on in the afternoon? Well, the Mike Douglas show. Do you remember the Mike Douglas show? And he was around too. Mike Douglas, I remember the chairs he had. And then he always had that kid genius on there. You remember what his name was? Mason Reese. I wonder what happened to that kid. He had red hair. He kind of looked a little bit like Danny Bonaducci. He is a little bit chubby, but he was supposed to be a kid genius. I wonder what happened to him. Yeah, Merv Griffin. And you remember when Ed McMahon used to actually do the Alpo commercials during the Tonight Show? Google him? Yeah, I should. Mason Reese. Yeah, John Denver. So help me. Are the victims' impact statements given before? No, they're not going to be given tomorrow. And does the judge have to follow it, or can he change it? He can't change what the jury says. Reese appeared in numerous television commercials in the 1970s, particularly for Underwood Deviled Ham, Post Raisin Bran, and Dunkin' Donuts Munchkins. He was awesome in Harry Potter. Rest in peace to Alan Rickman. The Honeymooners. Yeah, that used to always be on Channel 11, right? I haven't seen that on anywhere in ages. That was another one. Yeah, if you were up late or something, you would hear that. That's like an ASMR to me. Just the theme song and the moon yeah. I'll never forget. I bet you guys don't know this one. Oh my gosh, I think I was in 7th or 8th grade. And there was this, like, supposedly, my parents didn't know I was watching it, cutting edge show on Channel 11. And it was like a prison show, but I think it was a dramatization. It wasn't real, but it was about a woman's prison. Oh my gosh, what was the name of that? And it came on like at 11 o'clock on Channel 11 or 11:30. And oh my gosh, what was Cell Block H or Cell? Does anybody remember that? Hi, Casbot. No, not Scared Straight. Yeah, I think it was Cell Block H, right? That was crazy. That was ahead of its time. Wasn't that the woman's prison on like Channel 11, and it was filmed in a really weird way? Was it Prisoner Cell Block H? Charlene remembers that. Charlene must have been my, Charlene. Too bad I didn't know you. You're probably watching every single thing I was. Did you watch Prison Break? No, but I watched that 60 Days In. That freaked me out. That's a real blast from the past. Yeah. And then there was, I remember there was like, I don't know, a documentary. You said Scared Straight, but it was some other thing. Like it was like, I think it was called Bad Kids or something. And again, it was like when I was in 7th grade, and it was telling you about like some, I don't know what it was, whether it was a boarding school or something for like really, really bad, well, they said really bad kids. And I almost want to think that some of the reporters for 60 Minutes were doing it. I would like Prison Break. My daughter probably watches that because she watches all those prison shows. Topper? No, it wasn't bad. It was like Bad Kids. It was when I was like, I don't know, 11, 12. And it was hard. Like it was a documentary, and they were telling like what they did to the kids and everything in there. I don't even know how it was on like regular TV. Like when you think of, my daughter watches Locked Up Abroad all the time. For another ice cream cake, yeah, mine's almost done. I did do the chocolate truffle with the chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream. And I've got to put the cream on it tomorrow. Because I said when Ethan got home, he was just passing out. And I said, we're never going to go out to dinner and come home and do this. Because he's just, if he does, he's going to be a bear. And nobody needs that. So we just let him sleep. Next week I have to go on a chaperone a field trip with with Luke's class. He's so excited. He's like, my teacher said she emailed you a whole bunch of information. You have to check it right now. Goonies, you still like to watch it? That's on cable a lot. Yeah, the Goonies. Tourists are being poisoned in the Dominican Republic. Some people get food poisoning there. I know my girlfriend's daughter got it really, really bad. Yeah, he did the live commercials, Ed McMahon, right? The chaperoning the school trip? It was good. He enjoyed himself, but he is so tired. Like, he literally walked through the door and collapsed and slept like straight through to 8 o'clock. Got up, ate something, and went back to bed. Because they're in bed when I get on. My dogs are not insomniacs. They get up early. Sometimes you'll hear if they stir up, but my dogs are not insomniacs. That's why I really liked my flying squirrel, because my flying squirrel used to get up at night. My dogs are the opposite. Did you ask if he slept at all? Well, when he got off the bus, like the bus back, his best friend said, go ahead, you get some rest, Ethan. And then the teacher did the same thing. So I don't think he got much sleep there. And then they were like, he was on the cable bridges and zip lines and climbing rock walls and hiking. So, and then he had sunburn here. And I'm like, what happened to the sunscreen stick I gave you, especially for your face? And he's like, I put it on. I'm like, did you really put it on? He's like, I did. It must have worn off. To the moon, Alice. Growing spurts. My kids would sleep all weekend. Yeah, he was exhausted. So Jimmy's like, do you want to go out for dinner tonight? And then I'm like, nah, we're not going to go out for dinner. Because I know he would just be a total grouch, and then it would just be like ridiculous. So I'm like, no, we'll go tomorrow night. And then that way I'll just finish up the ice cream cake tomorrow night too. He did. He had a good time. He was just exhausted. He said that I don't know, two of his friends or something like, oh, we're going to go to camp here. And so he's like, can I go to camp there too? And I'm like, yeah, he said he didn't want to, he said it was a lot of fun. It's true, nothing else matters but the sunscreen. I don't know about other chatters, but I'm trying to send individual messages. Is at time a nightmare. Some names are so difficult to type quickly. Yeah, I don't know how anybody does that. Every time I try to tag someone, it never works, not even in the comments. Good time was had, yeah. If you're into investigating different cases or whatever, you come across, yes, it's cool to look people up and see what's going on and get more into the case, I think. Yeah, absolutely, Sassy. The house used in filming the birds is near Petaluma, California, a long, scary drive. This then see new one plus at Film Lot and Universal Studios. Yeah, he did. And it was nice because one of the dads on the field trip that we know that was a chaperone sent us pictures. Good morning, Sharon. Were the drinks poisoned on purpose? So they were actually poisoned. It wasn't food poison. They were poisoned and they died. Do you know what resort it was? It was what, 3 people died so far? So maybe it is true crime. Yeah, I did too, all the V.C. Andrews books. The V.C. Andrews, don't you think that, she had some kind of fetish going on there. Did you catch that from the books? I totally think that. Good night, Lisa the Greatest. Good night, Alicia. Three people died within... And is that where the couple died too? And do they know what kind of poison it is really poison? They know that? Chunky? Oh, is that... Is it Chunky? Is that the one where she is a little bit chunky and it's about her body image? And is that the one? My daughter watched one too on Hulu with the actress from Saturday Night Live. She said that was good. Where she's a I think she's a blogger or something, and then she goes after a troll. Have you seen that one? There's this guy that leaves these comments and somebody hunts him down and she goes to his house to confront him. Oh, Chucky. Okay. Oh, the other one is Dumpling that I'm thinking of. Sad to be alone. Who's alone? 5 p.m. and you need sleep? Good night, Lily Bell. Tainted booze. I would think a lot more people would have been dead, right? If they were intentionally poisoning, they would just do 3. What would be the point? Do they know why? Is there a motive? Are the people connected in any way? I mean, there's one as a couple, right? You have a question on the death penalty. Go ahead, Michelle. For the Jones, go ahead. Hi, I'm Hank. Oh yeah, it is, Karen. Band of Gold was the follow-up to Prisoner Cell Block H. Really? No, I don't know. I felt bad when he said he was sorry he did the movie. Who's that, Charlene? Tainted booze is common in Thailand. Sounded like hotel room if a minibar. Weird. What kind of poison was it? Was it what was it? Hi, Sarah. Alcohol tainted deaths are becoming like an epidemic. Really? Like an epidemic? You sent me an email on it? Okay. I didn't get to a lot of emails yet today. I wish I could say I was weeding the flower beds, but sadly it didn't happen. Doctor is still doing testing. You're still eating your Easter candy. You have way too much left over from all the sales after Easter. Did you guys remember when there was a ghost of a little boy in a film, 3 Men and a Baby movie? No. Dad, did Nasty Timmy smile? Yeah, he had a smirk. And then he tapped his defense, the one that, what's his name, Young, that did the closing statements. He tapped him on the shoulder. Lots of antifreeze. Yeah, at where? Where's the antifreeze? Lots of antifreeze in drinks at where? At Mo? I was hoping he'd wrap that necktie around himself. What was done about that doc? Which doc? No time? Which doc? I don't know. A doctor? Which doctor? Not the witch doctor. No, which doctor? Wow, you have a good memory. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I watched a lot of TV. Someone said the Chris Watts documentary. It was nothing with nothing. It was the same stuff. There was nothing new in it. I mean, it had Michael Rourke in it, so if you wanted to hear just him talk a little bit, but you didn't hear anything new. And they had some dramatizations. I mean, like they had Chris digging with a shovel in the beginning, but it wasn't Chris, of course. And then they had like some actors and actresses playing for those dramatizations, but it was nothing with nothing. You've seen it all. You've seen way more on YouTube. You know way more. I knew it was going to be like that. What are they going to tell you? You never trust the hotel minibar. Too many people come in contact with it. I know, it wasn't even their house. I know, that was crazy, right? With Chris Watts, with Keith Morrison. Yeah, Vegas Donna. No Time, I think it's on YouTube as well or something. You haven't watched it yet. I think it will annoy me. It wasn't really enough to even hold my interest, really. I mean, I half watched it, gave it like a half an eye. You heard that on the news, Charlene? You just finished watching The Good Girls on Netflix. You really enjoyed it, Leah? But this birthday really freaked me out. What birthday? Oh, what would you be turning? 60? I think it's always freaky when you reach another milestone like that, right? But you don't want the alternative. Oh, you saw the doc already? Yeah, it sucked. Okay. American Murder Trials, antifreeze. I was looking for some more news on that nurse with the antifreeze, the one, grab the Xbox. You turned 60? That's the new 40, isn't it? You don't care anymore when you hit 60? Good to know. You'll be turning 55 in July? Double nickels. Good choice for right now. What's the good choice? '60's new 40. So sad to have to go back to work. Just wanted to say hi to everyone. Hello. You're going to be 55 in July too? July 20th? That's my wedding anniversary. You're officially a cougar, says the investigator. Worst movie ever, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Never forget Steve Martin on Johnny Carson. A movie critic was second guessed and said it was a bad movie. Awkward. '36 on Sunday? Happy birthday. Who said? I'm officially. Are you a cougar? Somebody just told me about. Oh, I forget. Oh yeah, that the cougars, that it's very popular now. The cougars. Documentary was more about views, not any new or current news. I think it was more for people that didn't know about the case, like all those people you meet at the store. I really want to do that on film, like hidden camera or something. Just ask random people in the store if they heard about the Chris Watts case, because most people haven't. Well, most people that I run into. The older I get, the more fun I seem to have because I just don't care. Michelle says, oh, okay. Morning, ladies. Hello, Stephen. Any news on your avocado pit? I guess we can have a little, since this is a fun night, I can show some pictures that you guys recently sent. And then, because, again, we've got to go into the Tim Jones stuff tomorrow, so might as well take a look at that tonight, and then I'm pretty sure I can make another compilation show and tell video with the pictures we've shown since the last one. Okay, let's see what we have here. Okay, Jennifer Cobb. Let me see here. Okay, Jennifer Cobb says, "Hey, Mommy, I'm the Jennifer that sent in my Ollie's pics. I rarely make the lives because I work early, but I listen to you once I'm there. I sent in pics of my 7-month-old German Shepherd, Colty, and he sits on his futon like a human with his legs dangling off. I laugh every time he does this because he reminds me of Gene Wilder in the movie Haunted Honeymoon. The other pics are of a baby. Please don't judge me by the 1960s wall paneling in the background. I've been begging my husband to change it for years." Where's the wall? I don't see that. Did I miss the wall paneling? Or am I looking at different pictures? Oh, this is the squirrel? Wait a minute. This is Clark Griswold? Of a baby squirrel. Okay, this is of a baby squirrel. I forgot something here. I missed this. I raised named Sparky. Oh, with homage to Clark Griswold. This is, the last is a friendly groundhog. Wait, is this the groundhog? I'm totally lost here, or I'm not seeing the right pictures. Oh my gosh, that's the squirrel? It kind of looked like the groundhog. Oh my gosh, is he a pet in your home? How did you get this squirrel? That's crazy. I remember there was a video of a squirrel, like a gray squirrel, and there was like a golden retriever, and they were both in someone's house on the couch, and the squirrel was like taking his arm and making a round circle on the golden retriever. And I never forget, I shared it on Facebook, and I'm like, more importantly, why does someone have a gray squirrel living in their house? But now I see. Okay. Oh, this is the paneling you're talking about. Okay, I won't judge you on that. No judging. No judging. Okay, so that was Jennifer Cobb. And let's see here. Oh, this is Kathy Jordan. So this is Pillar and Saga. Very cute kitties. And let's see. I knew I saw a bunch of pictures the last time I was in here. Oh, here, those I showed, okay. Where is oh, Charlene had some more of her gardening. Her rhododendrons. She says she's going to win the peony wars with me. Wow. See, my deer ate the bottoms of my rhododendrons. So I showed you, Charlene, I have like this part and then it's like sticks. So it's like a rhododendron tree. There's nothing on the bottom. And I thought they were, but I'm so happy. I've got like lots of purple flowers though on the top, because I thought they had eaten, like the rest of them, they had just eaten them down and they died. And this one I've had for a number of years, but it's just on the top. We used to have really big, nice ones in New Jersey where we had our house, but yep, up here the deer, I don't know. I thought they were poisonous too. I remember putting them on the campfire, the leaves, and they snap because there's so much water in them. So they're like little firecrackers. And then I think you have one more here. Just a few more. I'm in another email. Oh, look, we can do some, we've seen this before. See, now we have a better picture of this. And you're into that blue glass. And I think lots of blooms on there. Very nice. Charlene. And what else do we have? Oh, Jeannie said, Carolyn, remember my pics of my tiny avocado pit? Was that the one I was Jeannie, was yours the one I was laughing at? Because I thought it was brown, and then I said no, it wasn't the avocado pit. I think it was the pineapple. I think it was. She said, well, it was the brown looking. Oh, it was. I feel badly because I was laughing at that brown pineapple. But she said her pineapple got all yucky because I forgot to give it sun. And so it got thrown out. And my tiny avocado pit looks so gross. So I got a bigger pit and I started again. And here's my pics of my old pit and my bigger pit. That's your new pit, I think, right? Do you have that the right way? You sure this isn't the bottom here? It looks like it's narrower over here. I think you might have that the wrong way. I don't know. I'm just saying you might. I wouldn't give up on this other one. I really wouldn't. I think you just have to take some more of that skin off. Is that the skin on there still? But you know that this is the top, right? I think you have the wrong end in the water. I think that's what your problem is. It's usually like the pointier end, that's the top. I think you've got this the wrong way in the water. I think that's what the problem might be. Now that I'm seeing it, I think it is. I think that's what it is. Yeah, I'm really thinking that's what it is there, Jeannie. Yeah, I think you have it the wrong way. And I think you might have the new one the wrong way too. I don't know, maybe there's some other experts on here that can tell you. I'm trying to see. I know I had some. Oh, here we go. Priscilla, you forgot to attach the picture of your new garden. You forgot to attach it. Oh, here's a video. I just want to give it. This is about that case we talked about, that Giovanni Melton trial on June 17th. Here's a video. I think it's, you can check that out. That's a video about it. And I guess on how to give support and stuff. If you want to check that out right there. Both wrong way up and one still has skin. Right, Stephen? Okay. So yeah, Jeannie, that's the issue there. So yeah, Jeannie, turn that other one around, and then you attached in 2 emails. Okay, I didn't see the one. I just got one, and I don't see it. Let me see. Bridget C. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Okay, I'll get that going for tomorrow. If Bridget C's still here, hopefully. Okay. Priscilla. Oh, wait a second. Here you go. Okay, here's Priscilla's garden. Oh, you're just putting this in. These are raised beds. Okay. Looks like a good setup. I'd like to see it when you get your stuff planted in there. Do you have another picture? Oh, wait. Yes, no, I'm looking. Okay. Oh, here it is. It was named something else. Hang on. Are you in London? Did you say you're in London there, Priscilla? That's the IKEA chair. It always looks like this. I have a friend that made this into the Blue's Clues chair or something. I've never been to an IKEA. My sister told me a story that's a little freaky and scary, that she almost had to call an ambulance because she couldn't find her way out, and she was there with her daughter, and she started to have like a panic attack. And I'm like, I've never been to an IKEA. So, but I know that a lot of people have had like panicky situations. Like some lady wrote in, she thought somebody was following her around the store, and they were like, no, the store, it's like that. The person wasn't following you. But I said to my sister, like, how freaked out could you be? You're in a store. And she's like, she just got really freaked out. I don't know. She thought it was like some government thing that you couldn't get. I have no idea. Very nice. Thank you, Priscilla. And let's see, Jennifer Crowley has her crafty stuff. Oh, I think I showed these already, Jennifer. Did you miss these? I think they're in the compilation video. I think a bunch of you missed the compilation unless you're this is like more progress on it. Because I'm fairly certain I showed these. I know they're in the compilation video. That's that diamond stuff you said. So you have to put these little, I've never seen this craft before. So you take these little beads, I guess, and you stick them in there. Sounds like fun. Sounds like the new latch hook, like a, something to replace that craze. Oh, this is Bob Barker again. Hang on. How do I get, okay. This is Bob Barker again. Uh-oh. Hold on. Oh, he won't stay. Stay, Bob Barker, stay. Uh-oh, someone's probably telling me to check your email. Oh, okay. Thank you, Sharon. Okay, from Old Woman, someone just asked to see this. Okay. Okay, and I know there was someone else that gave me salt and whisper to me. You're saying that okay, now this is going to be a little bit hard to see. Evelyn Hyman said this is something she got at a yard sale, and it's fairly small. I'm not sure how to make it larger. Let me see. She said it's made of wood and is hand carved. It's a very nice piece, I think. Thank you, Evelyn. Okay, let's see. Whisper to me. Okay, hang on.
Haley letting herself in.
Yes, the Waffle House here in Cordova. Not exactly beat up. She must have one thing to say about the Take a look at this picture.
That's funny. That's too funny. You know what's really funny about that? That you had like some thing on there about a murder at a Waffle House, because that's like it's a true crime or person, right? Of course, that's playing in the background. That's hysterical. My Westie will let her see, like, I don't know how definitely doesn't hit the door at all, but like she gets in sometimes, like with the, if just the storm door is open and stuff. It's funny. But that's hysterical. That is so funny. Let's watch that again. That is really funny.
Haley letting herself in.
Yes, the Waffle House here in Cordova. Not exactly beat up. She must have one thing to say about the video I showed you.
She doesn't close the door though, right? Yeah, she's got to learn how to close that door.
Take a look at this video.
That's funny. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Okay. That's from Sweets. I'm not sure what your... Let me see if he left me your... This is my puppy Haley. She has officially figured out how to let herself and Harley in the door. This would make you all smile. Love to all. Oh, this is Sophia. Sweet Sophia. Thank you. That's funny. Okay, let's see here. Whisper to me. Let me see. Let me see if it's on the other page. I thought I opened it and... see here. Hang on. Let me see if I can find it here. Oh, yeah, I did open it. Oh, you want me to show it here? Okay. Let me see. I knew that I opened. Okay. All right, let me put it over here. Oh, hurry up. Uh-oh. Carolyn, here's to all your wishes coming true. Happy birthday from Whisper to Me and all of us Ramblers. It's very cute. Yeah, I saw that before. It was very cute. Thank you, Whisper to Me and all of the Ramblers. All right, now let's see if there's, what else do we have? Okay. But there is someone, there's one other one I want to show, and then, because somebody asked me to show the, let me see. Yeah, this one. Some old woman said, in case anybody wanted to see some of the salt and pepper shakers that she has up close. Let me make sure those are all in the... So those are cute. Very Gumby and Pokey. Okay. Okay. Cat on a chair is one nice one. So. Oh, hi, Mama Four Girls. I didn't see you. Night of Mama Four Girls. Didn't see you. Okay, so I think I'm gonna call it a night because we've got Tim Jones stuff starting. But like I said, if you haven't checked out the compilation video, the one that says show and tell that just has the pictures, I'm going to do that with just the pictures, like probably weekly, because we go through a lot of pictures here, especially on the weekend. So check those out, the compilation ones, because they're just pictures with music, your pictures. So I think, like I said, I'm going to have I have enough to do another one of those. All right, starting, right? But everyone have a good one. Hi, Garfield. Thank you to all of our mods and everyone, all the ramblers. Have a good night. Have a good day. Whatever, if you're on the rat race like Casbot, have a good rat race. All right. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Stay safe. Okay. Good night. Have a good night, everyone. All right. Sweet dreams. If you don't know what that's about, check the beginning of the video.